Hey guys, I'm here at New York Comic Con with some of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Clark, Jeph, thanks for being here, guys.
Pleasure. Thank you.
You know, there's a lot going on right now, but first and foremost, Simmons, she's back, and I'm guessing then we never have to mention where she was again, right? That's it.
We're not going to know anything more. We'll never know what happened to her. She'll just go back into the lab, and it'll be just very simple, as though nothing happened.
Right, and you know, Coulson's not going to ask, right? He's like, hey, cool to see you.
I don't ask until I look on her phone and there's a picture of her riding a spice worm.
That would be amazing.
Like, you know what? I got to know more.
Right. So what can you say about this world? She was there for a while, is the thing. So what experiences might we learn about when she was there?
She speaks Ewok. That is very, very
It's
dangerous.
amazing how quickly she picked that up.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's a smart person, though.
She has a furry boyfriend with a spear.
Exactly.
She's a very smart person. It's so mysterious. And, wow. Was she really with the Wookiees?
A little bit.
She was there a long time, and I think all we can really safely say is that with people who've been through something very traumatic like that, she's not super forthcoming right away. It might take a while to get this out of her.
Okay. Now, you've also got the Secret Warriors thing going on, but, you know, Daisy, I stopped myself from saying this guy, she is a little upset that this isn't moving quicker. Might she get her wish and maybe some more members might filter onto that team?
You know, look, what's great about Daisy and Chloe, who plays her, is that she is young, and as we've learned through, you know, doing 50 episodes of the show, is that it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you want the world to move at the speed that you want the world to move at, and I think one of the things that Coulson is very good at is understanding what's best, and so sometimes, you know, taking things a little slower might not lead us down the path of, say, Hydra taking S.H.I.E.L.D. over. You know, if you know, this is a very dangerous thing that they are talking about doing, which is to bring enhanced people into a government installation. And who is going to look after them? And are those people containable? And do we have the right to be able to do that? And the idea of when people feel disenfranchised is something that people are really empathizing with in today's society. And so, you know, that's a lot of very rich stuff. So it shouldn't just be how do we get to the next superpowered person and put them on a team and see what happens.
And, you know, at the same time, Coulson, he's got a new adversary, as it were, with Rosalind. They had a great scene together on the train. How much can you say about that character and how much they might bounce off each other, and how much are they working at cross purposes, or maybe they can work together because there is an other entity out there?
You get a sense, even in the 301, the episode you're talking about on the train, where they seem very much adversaries out of the gate, and it doesn't look like they're going to have anything in common other than that they're very similar. And then within a few moments, they both realize that they have been suspecting the other of blowing holes in these people who have gone through Terrigenesis, and neither of them seem to have done it. So there's common ground. They seem to be struggling for the same purpose, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get along. That said, Constance Zimmer's spectacular, and just the kind of formidable intensity and the sparks in their conversations suggest that anything's possible going forward. They could either become enemies who fight to the death, or something very, very different than that.
Now, you guys have a lot of fun with sort of mixing and matching your characters, I noticed. And right now, you know, for instance, you've got Daisy and Mack working together, and now Hunter and May are off together. Is that great for you guys when you kind of see, like, oh, we haven't really seen these two together, how that works?
Well, part of that is sheer practicality. We have the largest cast in the history of television, and that has to do with the fact that we have also one of the most spectacular the way that those people are playing those roles. I mean, you know, we introduce new characters with the idea that they're going to be in a few episodes, and then suddenly the writers in the audience and the actors themselves fall in love with the experience. And so we're all about trying to continue that experience. And so going into this season, one of the main objectives was, okay, let's try to put some of these different characters together, largely because it makes good story, and anything that leads you to that is always a smart thing to do in a Marvel world.
Is there anyone, Clark, that you're hoping maybe we can get a little more scenes with, and to see like, oh, how does Coulson and this character, maybe if they went off on their own adventure?
I find that I've had time with everybody. I went to Puerto Rico with Mockingbird. Hunter and I ended off on a couple of things. I haven't spent much time with Melinda May lately, so I would like to get some more time with her. I'm really digging mixing it up with Rosalind Price, Constance Zimmer. I'm really hoping that continues.
As a comic geek, I was very excited by Werner von Strucker showing up. Talk about that and the whole idea of Ward's sort of new Hydra, and he's getting these new facets. Will that continue to go pretty well for him? Although some people are out there looking for him.
Look, I think one of the things that's very exciting is that Ward's character still continues, no matter what he does, no matter how bad he gets, still continues to find an audience that believes that he's redeemable. Yes. And that very much speaks to, I think, an incredible performance by Brett Dalton, but also the writing staff and our showrunners, Jed Whedon and Marissa Tancherone and Jeffrey Bell, being able to sort of find that fine line where people are looking at Ward and kind of rooting for him to be able to find his place. Right now, what he wants to do is reinvent Hydra. What's interesting about that dichotomy is that across the street, his old boss, Director Coulson, is trying to reinvent S.H.I.E.L.D. And so whenever those two things are happening simultaneously, it leads to no good. So we'll see what happens.
There was an interesting line last week. I think it was Peter McNichol brought up the fact that Coulson has changed a lot, that he's he's kind of endorsing this mission to kill Ward and things that maybe he wouldn't have done 2 years ago. Is it interesting for you to see where the character is going, and are you wondering, is it going to be too far? Are we going to have to maybe watch out for him?
No, I like going on the journey. I think that comes with the job. When the spectacular Peter McNichol, who I love and love having on our show, when he said that line, I thought, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm not different at all. This is the job. What do you mean? I mean, and I kind of felt like Coulson in that moment. I don't feel those things. I feel that the task demands different things, and we've certainly been through a lot, but each of those changes seems to reorder the world around us, and it seems like the most logical reaction to what's been happening. On the other hand, from the outside, I'm sure he does look different.
Lastly, Damage Control is one of my favorite comics ever. Anything you can say about that and what the approach might be?
All I can tell you is that Ben Carlin, who came to us with this pitch, had such a firm grasp of what he wanted to do. It made us laugh. I mean, this is a guy who's won 11 Emmys and has been on shows like Modern Family and The Daily Show. So. It's smart. It's not your traditional, as they would say, sitcom. It's what you would expect from Damage Control, and as per usual, what is unexpected from Marvel.
Yeah, and I'm in the pilot. Can we say that? Can we tell them yet?
Don't tell them that.